Lucia Lenzi from the University of Bologna, and with Claudio Porrini. Last year we performed biomonitoring with honeybees on the Albarella Island, and tomorrow we will explain in details the results. But today I will talk about how to use bees as bioindicators. So biomonitoring is the use of living organisms to obtain information about the environment, and bioindicators can be defined as the synthetic representations of complex realities because they allow to consider the synergistic interactions between pollutants and environmental factors. The pollutants present in the ecosystem can determine their growth, rarefaction, also their presence or absence in that ecosystem. So they can affect bees in different ways, bioindicators in general. Using honeybees as bioindicators present lots of advantages because they are numerous and make also numerous trips every day. They also come in contact with almost all environmental matrices like soil, water, and vegetation. Apis mellifera, it's a species that is widespread, ubiquitous, and also easy to breed with low management costs. On the other hand, we have some limitations, of which the most important is that the flight activity is strictly influenced by temperature that must be at least of 10 Celsius degrees. So these prevent the monitoring of winter period because the temperature is lower. Alongside, honeybees has lots of hairs over their body that allows them to collect pollen, but also to intercept other particles, as some studies have reported. We reported here a study of 2015. So they can intercept a lot of things of the environment. Another very important factor that make honeybees very good bioindicators is that they cover an area of almost 7 kilometers square because they have a flight radius of 1.5 kilometers. So they cover a very broad range. And also, if we consider the high number of worker bees that make numerous trips per day, we potentially could have 10 million microsamples of the environment, mainly nectar and pollen, but also, as I said before, other matrices of the environment. Another important aspect is that bees visit all environmental compartments and they intercept different pollutants that consequently are driven to the hive, so in just one place that we can analyze. Biomonitoring with bees can present different level of complexity depending on various aspects. One is the time consuming, another could be the professionality of the operator, and also the cost and the sensitivity of the method. Here, we reported an example of a very high level technique of biomonitoring with an electronic bee counter, but it is a technology very expensive. Bees can be used to investigate different pollutants in the environment, like pesticides, heavy metals, also polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, radionuclides, and so on. So they present a very flexible application. Here there is the map with our monitoring station on the Albarella Island, and we perform a monitoring of the third level of complexity, which is quite with low cost, but has a good sensitivity, and also it's not very time consuming. We used these kind of cages to collect dead bees. These cages are called under basket, and the operator counted manually every week the number of dead bees. We can say that the normal mortality of bees must be under 120, 130 bees per hive per week. This threshold, if is overcome, it may be caused by other factors. So it is important to perform a chemical analysis to investigate the possible cause, and also the palynological analysis in order to guess where the bees have flown, so we can intercept the exact location of the pollution. But the mortality of bees is not the only element that we must take into account, because just the mortality may not be sufficient to assess the health status of the colony. So another important thing to do is to verify and assess the strength of the colony in order to see if there is any growth or rarefaction, and also abnormal behavior by the bees. And this assessment of the strength of the colonies is generally made by the operator and the beekeeper. And it considers various parameters, of which there is the number of edultone bees, the extension of the brood, and also the extension of the provisions, both of honey and pollen and so on. And it is carried out by filling the sheet reported here. So I thank you for the attention, and if you are interested, tomorrow we will talk about the Albarella case study.